So for example, one sign that you have bad riding habit is that it's really hard to turn around your heavy dirt bike. So if you feel like your dirt bike is heavy, even though it's just a trail dirt bike, maybe you're riding with your spouse or your kids and you're just on like a gravel road and you're afraid that the bike might fall over and you won't be able to pick it up, this is a big sign that you haven't formed the right positive riding habits. Even though the dirt bike might be heavier than you, that doesn't mean you need to use your entire body strength to keep it in control. For example, a lot of people, they make the mistake of using too much strength and pressure in their arms and hands to stay in control. This causes you to tense up, your arms pump up, and it makes it hard to hang on to the handlebars, use the throttle, the brake, the clutch. But in order to stay in control, you actually need to relax your arms and your hands. And that's one of the big things that I teach in my virtual dirt biker school. Another big sign that you haven't formed positive riding habits is that your front tire, it feels like, or it does slide out from you when you're going around a flat corner. So maybe you're coming up to the corner and you try and turn and the front tire just washes out from under you. This is extremely common if you're a new dirt bike rider or if you're coming from the street because you're not used to having less than 100% traction. So if you're on a street bike, you're pretty much getting full traction all the time, even when you're going on a corner. But in the dirt or the gravel road, it's a lot easier for the front or even the rear wheel to slide out if you haven't formed positive riding habits. This could be because you're not properly balanced on the bike with your body position. It could be from using too much front brake because when you use too much front brake, this can lock up or slow down the front wheel too quickly without enough pressure on the tire, and that causes the tire to slide out. So maybe that causes you to not use the front tire. Maybe you use the rear, and when you use too much rear, this can cause the rear wheel to lock up and slide out. So you probably just end up slowing down, and it's not quite as fun, and you won't be able to keep up with your family or your friends because you just don't have the confidence to safely go around a flat corner. A third sign that you have bad riding habits is that you've tried riding up a steep hill and you got stuck, you didn't make it up to the top, maybe you lost traction or momentum and you stopped and then you started sliding back down the hill, or maybe you're just afraid of getting stuck and sliding back down the hill, and if you fall off and your bike comes after you, you don't want it to fall on top of you. So this either makes you nervous, intimidated, or you just have to have your husband or your kid to ride the bike up the hill for you. Another common sign that you have bad riding habits that I hear from my students is that you're afraid to ride with your husband or maybe your wife if she's better than you, or just faster riding friends, because when you come up to a more challenging section with lots of trees that are narrow, big rocks or steep hills, you just end up tensing up, and this actually makes you ride worse, which is even more frustrating. So maybe it's more exhausting, it takes a lot longer to get through those sections, or maybe you just skip them all together and feel locked out of riding those sections, especially if they're really sandy. It makes it even trickier to ride through them. If any of these sound like you, or maybe all of these, then you need to check out my next video on how to build your confidence using positive riding habits. You can check that out here. This is Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout. Learn more, ride more, so that you can stay safe and have fun for many years to come.